Presented by That Time I Got Reincarnated in the Same World as an Anime Podcaster, this is Shonen Jumping the Gun! Mag Dump! Hey, lock and load. We're reloading the first 3 volumes of a manga to see how they avoided a shallow grave.
That's an awful lot of tanko bonds on this battlefield. Your grandmother never told you stories like these. This is Fairy Tale.
Howdy ho, neighborinos. And here we are in Mag Dump number 4? 4?
That's a good question. Okay, so what did we do?
I know, right out of the gate. Hi, I'm Moxidine here with these guys, Sensei Summer Brad. This is Mag Dump, where we read the first 3 volumes of a manga and then talk about them. And we've read Fairy Tale. Yes, no, the first one was...
Did we do Naruto first?
No.
Jujutsu Kaisen?
No.
Shit.
Was Naruto first?
No.
No, because Naruto... And then we did Jujutsu Kaisen. Did we do Jujutsu Kaisen after Naruto, or did we do Naruto after Jujutsu Kaisen? But we didn't start with Jujutsu Kaisen, did we?
We don't do these often enough.
What a way to start this.
Yeah. Whatever we did.
We did Bleach. We did Bleach.
Yeah, we did 3 of them. We've done Naruto, Bleach, and Jujutsu Kaisen in some order.
I think we did Naruto first. We had to have, right?
I don't know. Bleach was the last one, right?
Bleach was the last one, definitely. 100% confirmed.
Did we start with Jujutsu Kaisen?
That doesn't make any sense.
Maybe.
Why would have we?
I don't know. Why do we do anything we do?
You're right. Was there another old shonen series that we were covering?
What do you mean?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying.
Those are the 3 we've done.
You're right.
I just don't know what order.
Okay, weird. Interesting. I don't know anything. Maybe it's just me constantly talking about doing Kagurabachi. But we're here.
We'll do that sometime. That's
still in the docket in the future, and the future is infinite. But no, we are here with Fairy Tale, a manga that Brad and I had never read before, had never watched. I don't know about you. I osmosis zero information outside of like vaguely seeing the covers in bookstores when I was in college over a decade ago.
I'm sure I've seen clips or something. I knew that the girl did like summon beast kind of things.
Didn't even know that. Knew nothing.
I don't think I knew
was. I just knew what he looked like. I knew
what his powers were.
I didn't know that.
I think she's the only one who I knew what she did.
There must have been some clip that you saw.
I guess.
I know there's little humor bits with that. So
I did recognize the cat, but like not in a capacity of like, oh, I know what the cat does. Just
or even
as
what
in
the cat
like,
is called.
I've seen the cat.
Yeah, because that's the thing. It's like I've seen our main character Natsu.
Yeah,
Natsu. Isn't that like fermented soybeans or something? That's not. Sorry, natto. Hi, Duolingo from like 4 years ago. But like I had seen him and I had seen the cat on covers again when I was in college, like over a decade ago. And that's honestly all I knew of Fairy Tale. I didn't know anybody that watched enough that told me anything. I never saw a frame of the anime. I never read a page of the manga. Literally almost like as a blank slate outside of just knowing that it was around and that it was fairly popular. Because I think fairly recently they made or are making more anime.
Really?
Is the 100 Years War this or Bleach?
The
100-something war.
The 100-Year War is a real war.
Wait, maybe I have notes for this. I don't have notes for this. Yeah, we'll figure it out. Yep, we'll figure it out. Well, the anime was very long running. I should read my own notes. So this was Fairy Tale, Tale spelled T-A-I-L, not T-A-L-E, which is how I was spelling it at the beginning before we read it, because I don't think I ever took a moment to notice that's how it was spelled. And like, I guess that's the bit. It's like, oh, it's a fairy because they're fairies. But no, not like that.
I haven't seen any tails except on the cat, so I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Lucy's got a whip. Does that count?
Do you think the author was just trying to be like, it's not the thing you think it is, and it was like some weird like Japanese hot Coldman sort of situation?
Just didn't know how to spell.
We read. Brad so lovingly got me the first omnibus of the first 3 volumes for Christmas as a business expense. so that I could read it, and then I gave it to him for him to read it. But it had bonus stuff in it, and I swear in it there's a couple interviews with the author where he talks about the spelling of it, because I think somebody like emailed in it or like sent a letter about the question.
All of that.
Yeah, okay.
I looked at it because you had mentioned it, and I was like, that's cool. I don't care.
You didn't have time. Brad has read it infinitely more recently than me. I read it about a week ago. Not a week ago. I read it about a month ago now when I was on vacation on the boat.
You're on a boat.
That will have more context as soon as we finish the intro admin. That will kind of shape some of our conversation today. And then you read it over the past 3 days, each day reading an entire volume's worth of chapters.
It worked.
And you got here. You got here and you'd read it all. So Fairy Tail was written and arted by Hiro Mashima, who had priorly done the work Rave Master, which is another series that I remember hearing about.
I don't
know nothing of. Maybe it was like it would be in ads in old Shonen Jump manga that I was reading. Because the name, or maybe there was like an anime version that played some channel that I never watched. I don't remember, but like those words are familiar to me. Supposedly, the little like, I don't know what to describe it. There's like the weird little like dog with the conical nose she can summon.
Oh yeah, he's like a snowman kind of thing.
Yeah, supposedly he's
or something.
He's like a cameo crossover with Rave Master.
Oh, okay.
But at least from the I mean, obviously, like mangaka like to lie in their Q&As. If Oda is any indication, he loves telling little lies, and I mean that lovingly, honestly, lovingly.
Tell me sweet little lies.
Exactly. But people were making the point, and it seemed like and again, also this is me foggily remembering this. But he acknowledges that, but it's not like, oh, they're not the same, but it's like I wanted to like have the little pullover from something, so something familiar was there. And I'm like, okay, that's kind of funny, of like this kind of side thing, but it makes his showing up make more sense that he's like he's a gag character. He's a gag cameo character. Yeah. Which is why he can show up, and it's not really important to the story, but there's the gravitas of like, oh, you were supposed to know this guy, but we didn't because we never read Rave Master before. So, but yes.
What the heck is Rave Master about?
Are these notes right? Oh no, sorry. I almost got really confused because this is why the wording is important. This ran in Weekly Shonen Magazine, not Jump. There's another one called Weekly Shonen Magazine. So I was like, no, wait a minute. I'm thinking of that won't come out for another 4 weeks. Actually, I don't remember when this will come out. Series that won't come out for a while, but I don't want to make Brad bleep it right now because he'll forget it that one time.
Unless this fancy new thing that I'm using
marks it.
Works.
Yeah, but I didn't say the words, so you don't have to.
I'm going to bleep your redacted.
That's funny. Because I was just like, no, this was not in Shonen Jump, but it ran in Weekly Shonen Magazine from August 2006 to July 2017 for 545 chapters.
That's a lot.
Yes, it has various spin-offs and an anime. I mean, we did end up doing this, so I don't have to say the rest of this, but I'm going to, because of a recent kick y'all don't know about, I may make Brad watch it with me and record it in dinner. We already watched it beforehand as like a refresher, and also we were eating dinner, and Brad was like, hey, we should watch that. I'm like, you're right, because I could have used the refresher. Let me tell you.
That's called a preload.
It's a preload. Natsu's voice, not right. In Japanese and English, incorrect. The girl's voice, whose name escapes me, Lucy?
Yeah.
Voice in both versions, good. English version, exactly how I imagined it, even though I didn't imagine it specifically. Happy, wrong in both of them.
It was fine.
We'll get to Happy.
Happy was fine.
Happy, we will get to what I think about Happy, and especially how the dub works with both of them, because I'm like, this was not the vibes that I got.
But another voice.
Oh, the guy who plays the guy who's going to kidnap the girls is voiced by Ian Sinclair, and by which, AKA Brooke from One Piece, AKA Space Dandy. He's a dandy guy in space.
Yeah. It was like the whole reason to watch the English dub.
Yes, and it was very messed up because I'm like talking to Brad. I'm like, I'm so charmed. I love him. He's Brooke. He's so charming. And Brad has to remember, it's like, that man is a sex trafficker. And I'm like, yeah, but he's so cute though. A different voice will change everything, because his voice in the Japanese version, not as charming.
Yeah.
Very different vibe.
It made more sense.
He was more of a creep. He was less of a thing. But no, the anime ran from October 2009 to September 2019.
2009.
So, and I swears it.
But it's in HD on Crunchyroll.
2009 was HD, by the way.
I guess, well, HD might not be the right word, but it's widescreen. So.
Oh, I mean, they could have done the thing to
That's
it.
why when we turned it on, and I was like, what? I thought this was older. But Yeah.
It did.
Maybe it was remastered or something.
That
For
seems
streaming?
strange. Oh, like, yeah, but like, 9 original video animations. Yeah, oh, there it is. Fairy Tale 100 Years Quest. That's what I was thinking of.
Oh, yeah, I've heard that.
Yes, because I feel like that happened semi-recently. It makes it one of the most... It is sold over 72 million copies in print. I just want to find the anime thing so I can start this journey. Okay, maybe it wasn't as soon as I thought. Yeah, 2019. I guess time is passing.
That was a long time ago.
I know. What, 2019?
Yeah.
It feels like it, honestly. 7 years, but also multiple lifetimes. But no, Brad, do we do any other things before we jump in the summary? Also, the summary, much like the last time we did this, is I just pulled this from Wikipedia stuff because it's like trying to get in the things that I normally write for 3 volumes is a lot.
Dear listeners, if you would rather Magdump have a better structure, please let us know and we'll like do more
that
work.
Yeah. Because the summary for me is mostly to have us go through it and remember what we read and talk about the moments as we came at them. So before we get into the summaries, a thing that is going to color this that I don't know if I can escape. I don't know. I read this where in a version that there could have been other timelines that I had different feelings about it. So I started reading this was when I was on vacation. And about a volume and change into it, I got sick on the boat. And nothing was pleasant after that. Not that I was like pukey, like I had like a fever. It just wasn't pleasant.
You're
It was
on a
very
boat
much
and you're getting sick and
yes, not fun. Just everything became, but like
you're puking over the rail.
I was
into
not
the
puking.
Ocean.
There was no puke. Fuck, that was good. I was sick now. You've retconned my existence because that rhyme was too fun. No, but I was fairly miserable, and I was still trying to read through this, and I don't know if my misery, how much that colored this. I'm gonna bury the lead a little bit. I'm kind of disappointed in this manga.
Okay.
But maybe talking about it will make me come around on it now that time has passed and maybe my emotional state reading it. But then when I got home and I got better, I did read more of it, but it still felt a little like a slog. And I feel like it is one of those, that's why I said like the timeline things of like my theory that I've talked about many times of when you come into a piece of media, you can get good currency with it, you can lose currency with it. And where you end with your currency determines how you feel about it. And there's some pieces of media that live on the razor's edge enough that it's like if there's one moment that you go down when you should have gone up, you can spiral after that. And I don't know if just by virtue of reading it when I wasn't well and just generally not in a good mood, colored it and knocked me into the red more than I should have been that if I was reading it normally and made me a little bit more arms crossed about it. So I'm hoping both through your experience and us talking about it, if a truer, less biased, or at least more true to my own biases and not me being sick biases will be left here. Brad's making faces. Let's get
I
started.
think this is going to be interesting because I also had a shift in my perspective in the middle of this.
Interesting. Okay, maybe not. Because in the beginning, I was excited. Let's start. Let me jump in.
Let's do that.
Let me jump in. I love these Wikipedia ones because they always have to give them their full names. I'm just going to say their first names. Lucy, the girl who we kind of follow.
Heartphilia.
You're correct. Aspires to join the popular Wizards Guild Fairy Tale, despite its reputation for causing destruction. She encounters the Dragon Slayer wizard, Natsu...
Oh, I don't know. I only know her name.
Dragneil, and his cat-like partner, Happy, who are both searching for the dragon Igneil.
Can I just pause 1 minute? Because this was confusing to me. So there's all this news about Fairy Tale is causing all kinds of destruction. And at some point we find out like the council is like meeting about it.
Yes.
And going, they're causing too much destruction. We need to arrest them and all that kind of stuff. And yet there's all these people all around that are like, Fairy Tale's great. They're so big and powerful.
But they
and
also
we love
don't
them.
understand what Fairy Tale is.
I guess.
We were talking about that when we were watching the anime. I'm like, wait a minute. How is everybody excited about this when they constantly show up in the news that they're destroying things? And how does nobody know who's in? How does Lucy? Hi, this is maybe some of later conversation happening now with these glasses looking back on it. How does Lucy, an actual mage who's been around enough to collect all of her summoning keys, not know about who's in Fairy Tale.
Yeah.
Because they're not mysterious. Clearly, they're going around blowing up buildings.
But she does know some people in Fairy Tale because she's reading that book with the secretary girl in a pinup in
She's
it.
looking at pinups and telling everybody she's bi. I told you that earlier.
The way you framed it, I thought you were talking about yourself.
I know. No.
I was confused.
It was just really funny to me because it's like, this is only here so the author can draw pinup girls. But so I'm like, how would you make this work? Why is this storyline a character? It's like, oh, it has to tell you Lucy's, like, because it's like, why is Lucy looking at these pinups going, wow, these pinups? And it's like, well, obviously she has to be bi because she was already crushing on Ian Sinclair earlier.
Bicon.
I don't know if I'd go that far.
We need to read more of it to find out.
What I've read, I wouldn't say so. Whatever. But no, Natsu is there looking for his adoptive dragon father Igneal. Later, Lucy is nearly tricked into slavery by a criminal impersonating the fairy tale wizard Salamander, but she is rescued by Natsu. Natsu is also in there because there is rumors of a dragon being there, a salamander being there, which is what they call dragons.
Because that guy,
but that
the
guy
bad wizard,
he's faking.
Is calling himself Salamander.
Yes.
But actually, Natsu is the Salamander wizard.
Yes, who's in the area. But also, people talking about it made Natsu come to the area.
Right.
So there's like an irony there. But yeah, they go on.
And by the way, his adoptive parent is a literal
dragon, and that's how he's able to use dragon fire. But we haven't gotten there yet. But no, she is taken to the boat even after breaking out of the charm spell, and she is then rescued by Natsu, who is revealed as the real salamander, and invites her into the guild. Natsu, Lucy, and Happy embark on a mission to save fellow member Macau Conbolt from a monster, after which the three form an official team together. Is that when they go into the like frozen tundra area? It's very funny they go on a boat, and I'm like, I was on a boat at the time.
That was the first chapter.
I'm trying to well, that was more than the first chapter.
So it's really important because they really gloss over this. Natsu's weakness is motion sickness.
Yes.
He gets incredibly motion sick immediately.
Yes, on any form of transportation.
Including being carried.
Yes, sometimes being carried, he gets sick. A trait that was kind of charming in the beginning and really fucking annoying later on.
Yeah.
Because it's constantly, hi, this is going to be interspersed. This is where you can talk me down in the future. You can't one-punch your man in your first couple of volumes. You can't instantly have to go, I have to get rid of our protagonist because he's too strong instantly in such an annoying, blunt way. Like, I know it's supposed to be funny, but it's mostly just like, ugh.
I think that's a valid criticism. I do think a couple of the times it was done well to the point where like I thought it was funny.
Yeah. Oh, yes, exactly.
It moved the story in the right way and everything.
Yes.
But I do think it was very, very overdone.
It happened too many times, and when you're having this big story of like, I really need Natsu here, and it's like, let's cut back to him being on the train and sick while people are trying to talk to him, but he's too sick to think about it, and it's just like,
But then the whole thing about like, oh, he's not listening because he's sick also plays into the fact that he's a big dumb idiot.
Yeah, he's a big shonen, whatever. He eats a big meal.
Yeah.
You know, he shoots and he eats fire, and this gives him strength, and then he can spit it out, and also he just has like dragon talon attacks, right? Am I remembering correctly?
And as far as I can tell, it's not necessarily limited to fire, because at one point I'm pretty sure he swallows a bead of metal or something and spits it at the person.
I believe you are correct.
So I think it's just he can eat anything that's really, really hot.
But yeah, he has my brain for eating powers are so right now colored by I very recently caught up on Ultimate Exorcist Kiyoshi, and there's a character.
Oh my god, I didn't even. That's like the exact same thing.
But I didn't read that until after reading Fairy Tale.
Yeah.
But his is so much more interesting. So there's the character when they start traveling into hell named Shishido, I believe, he has big sharp teeth like that. He's way cooler than Natsu, and he's punk as fuck.
Yeah.
And he will eat things, and then he's able to spit them back up. But one of the things he does is he eats a spicy burger, and he spits up fire later. But it's like, what a more interesting version of the power. Again, this is okay. Before we keep going, I'm going to state another thing that goes into this. So when I started reading this and I was in good spirits, my brain went, "Oh, this is not One Piece at home. This is store brand One Piece." Which is, I like store brand stuff. I buy store brand stuff all the time. This isn't the premium brand. This is store brand. And as I kept reading, it slowly shifted to This is One Piece at home. This is Temu One Piece.
No, see,
and I don't think it's that bad, so I wanted you to help me dial it in.
I think a better comparison is this is Burger King One Piece. Like, yes, it's definitely not as good, but it's very similar, and it is a thing that some people like more for some reason.
Yes. Did your brain ping One Piece on this?
A little bit.
I've always even from I don't know how much of it is back then I had it connected to One Piece, and I don't know if it was just the art style that made me think of that, because like I said, I had no concept of what the story is and anything. I literally just had front covers.
Yeah. I would say Natsu is very Luffy coded in a lot of ways. Not 100%.
No.
But there's a lot of similarities there, and like the overall the comedy of it is very similar, and
yes, but not as good.
Definitely the art style. There's a lot of similarities.
Okay,
There's a lot of stuff. I definitely.
So
would
in a
agree
weird
there.
like aura vibes, I don't want to say stink about it, aroma about it. It does feel like One Piece, but structurally, I don't remember. Did you ever read any Black Clover?
No.
This is
That's going to be another one.
Structurally very. Probably, I read a lot of it. I guess I'd reread it just to get you to read it in a way and have I think because there's a discussion about it. And I'm sure there's other manga like this that I just haven't found them yet. And as we'll get to it, is like Black Clover is hey, there's a bunch of these guilds of fighter wizard people around.
I mean, that's fucking every fantasy series.
No. But it's specifically that here is the guild. You meet all the weirdos, and then every arc is, hey, this set of weirdos with the protagonist went off and did a mission while somebody else was doing something else. And it's the idea that and I love it as a storytelling mechanic for something like this, because it just means, hey, now you get to meet this person. We go on this quest, or like, oh, this group of people, and what their dynamic is while we're going to do this thing.
I don't think we're going to meet a whole lot of other people in the guild.
But we did meet a lot of them.
We met a lot of them, but like it seems like there's just going to be this core group that sticks together.
I don't know, but like I said, that's what made me think of Black Clover, because you meet a lot of them, but then you actually get to know them as they go out on quests with the main character whose name I don't remember right now. But I remembered liking that. I like that mechanically because it gives you a lot of space to go, hey, I love having a home base. Home base rules. Love a home base. And it gives you a space to reset, and it lets you go, hey, now we're going to go do this. It gives you the mechanic to be able to do this thing, and that you could have a different set of people. So it's like, we've had enough of this guy. Let's take this girl with us. Or, we met these two on different adventures. What if we put them together? How do they interact? Either by power, either by personality. And this is me writing checks the manga may or may not cash from its bones and comparing them to another manga that happened later.
But One Piece does the same thing. It's just that the home base moves, and the characters are not just limited to the people on the boat that they go around with. They also pick up other people at the places they are.
Not wrong, but the One Piece, even though they have to be split up, Straw Hats are getting constantly bigger.
Yeah.
And I mean, you're meeting more people, and I know Lucy joins, but like Fairy Tail is seemingly, this is the gang. Again, I'm basing this off of the structure that I knew of reading a bunch of Black Clover and wanting that because I think that's an interesting story thing. But you may be right that our party, but I don't know.
It's just similarities.
Yeah, but it's like these are my touch points for this as I'm going into it and going, hey, this reminds me of this. Hey, this reminds me of this, this and that and the other thing. Before we continue the summary stuff and talking about that, the One Piece comparison, I think, is one where Fairy Tail can only take damage because it also does not help.
No, definitely.
The designs are just, they're not generic, but they're just not, they're missing something. Like literally every design in this feels like it's not quite there. They're not bad.
I would agree.
But
I don't think it's
everybody
bad.
constantly is just missing. There's like a cartoony, because I'm like, because that was my winner. Like, I love this cartoony style, and I'm just like, there's just some little extra bit of zest that's just not here. All the designs for the main cast are just like, they just need a little bit more something. Like there's just, I don't know if it's more body types. I don't know if it's more interesting costuming. They're just all like, because there's like clearly a zest, like, especially reading the author's notes, like there's a zest in this manga. And it's not like, and I know some of it can be like, it's not a zest for me, but it just always feels like it's like, especially design-wise, it's just like, you could use a little bit more spice. Like, it's just, but it's in a way that it's like, it seems like you're the type of guy that would use more spice. Why didn't you?
I don't think this is popular for no reason.
Oh, no. I think this is like, however I feel about it, I can understand why people like it. I'll have my gripes with it, but this is very much something where I could go, honestly, you do you, boo.
There's a reason that it's 500 chapters and a shitload of anime
and spin-offs and whatnot.
Sold so
this is
much.
Not, again, this is one. Again, because this will already come out. We recorded Kanado's Magic, the new Shonen Jump series, at least to us today, right now, before this one, which feels fitting because it's another story of wizards and guilds and adventures and whatnot. And that one where I was like, I don't like it. It's not for me, and also I think it's structurally bad. This one is like, I think it's got some struggles, and I don't like it. I don't think I like it, but I don't think it's bad. I don't think people I think there's something here. I can feel intent. I can feel interesting ideas, and I think that's maybe why I catch myself on those thorns a little bit more. I'm just like, these designs are just like almost there, but they're not there, and I don't know why. But yeah,
I think they were trying to stick within the realm of like quote unquote realism.
Like a baseline, but it's a story in a setting that could have been more whimsical, could have been more wacky, could have been more over the top, and I think it would have fit the tone that they're going for.
I think like with One Piece, it's very much like it's all over the place. There's not just humans and all that kind of thing. Whereas this is very much they're keeping it at these are all humans, like.
But maybe some of the thing is also I wish some of them looked cooler.
Yeah.
Because, like, nobody looks, like, cool. Right?
I'm trying to think.
The Sasuke is frustratingly not cool.
Yeah, I don't think there's really...
But, like, they're not generic. Like, that's what... Like, that is my conundrum. That is my visual conundrum with Fairy Tail, is that it's, like... It has a personality. It has a look to it, but it also somehow feels like it's not sauceless. It's just the sauce is, and it's not even the sauce is wrong. It's just not. It's not spicy enough. It doesn't have enough. It doesn't have enough roasted garlic in it or
it's
something.
It's a thinner sauce than you were expecting.
There it is. In a series that seems like it would like you're just. It's like this feels like the vibe of this feels like more sauce. I don't know.
It's not quite sticking to the pasta. It tastes good. It's in there.
The flavor's there, but it's just like the way that you cook the pasta feels like there'd be more sauce, and the sauce would be sicker. There'd be more meat chunks in it. And there wasn't. It was very just like, that's like I want better for it, I guess. Is there anything? I don't even remember who's the teammate they free in the winter zone.
It's very inconsequential. He doesn't show back up, at least in this omnibus.
You're right.
The inciting incident is that this adventurer's son comes to the guild and is like, "Where's my dad? He's been gone for too long." And everybody's like, "He'll be fine. He's an adventurer." But Natsu is like, "I'm gonna go save him.
We should go check him out." I totally forgot about that.
It's honestly, it's sort of just like a monster of the week kind of thing, just to roll you into it.
I would agree with that.
And it's not bad, but it didn't. And here's the thing, and I guess this is where I open up. I wasn't really feeling it. The first chapter, this next small arc here, I was just like, okay, I guess. I was not hooked at all.
I was feeling it more, and I don't know how much of that was me being excited. I'm like, oh my gosh, I have this big, cartoony shonen adventure that's stretched out before me. I'm so excited to tuck into these 3 volumes. And I think I wrote a lot of checks that the manga wasn't interested in cashing, and I think that was my downfall a little bit.
So,
and also having a fever.
After this part, so the basic gist is they get attacked by this monster. Lucy tries to defend herself by using another monster. There's some funny back and forth. Natsu comes in, saves her. We find out that the adventurer who was lost got taken over by some kind of thing, and he's the monster.
Yeah.
So they rescue him by punching the shit out of him.
Yes, correct.
And so they sort of wrap that up. They take him home. Everybody's happy. And at this point, I was just like, okay, I guess it's just a normal manga, right?
Yeah. Yes. I feel like you being down on it is now making me shift a little, even though I shouldn't be.
Let's keep going.
We should keep going. So I feel like its first major arc is this one. Is Natsu, Lucian happy except a mission to destroy the book Daybreak, which their client, the son of its deceased author, blames for ruining his father's life.
And I have to say, this was I was both happy about this, but also a little bit disappointed. They did not leer at Lucy until the beginning of this arc.
Because they dress her like a maid. So like, no, they leer at Lucy beforehand.
No, she was literally in the bath.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
But there's other stuff.
And then in a towel.
No, but there's like the way they draw her, and then when she's looking at the pinup drawings of like their... Because what, that pinup girl is the fairy tales...
She's leering, but not...
Fairy tales,
Mary
like
Jo
receptionist? Yeah, Mary Jo or something. Not Mary Jane. Mary something like that.
At any rate, this was the first time where I was like, oh, okay, right.
Oh, no, chapter 1 I already saw. The author likes to draw a pretty girl like this.
Well, yeah, but I didn't think it was leering. But I will give it some credit. I don't think, short of like maybe a couple things they play off as jokes later, I don't think they did it again. At least in this omnibus.
No, I don't think Fairy Tale's too bad. I think every so often it pops up because I think the author likes drawing to his taste, quote unquote, pretty girls, but
so this book, Daybreak,
yes,
is owned by some Duke guy.
Duke Everlew. Do you want me to finish the summary and then we get into the particulars, or do you want to kind of get in the middle of it?
Go for it.
Lucy learns from a secret message in the book that its author was forced by the corrupt Duke Everlew to write it for 3 years in solitary confinement before committing suicide. She persuades
He didn't commit suicide in solitary confinement.
Correct.
He committed suicide later.
After he finished it and everybody gave him shit, especially his son.
Right.
Mostly his son giving him shit. His son sucks.
Sort of.
She persuades their client to keep Daybreak, decoding it as a memoir dedicated to him by his father. Later, Natsu and his guildmate... Oh, wait, that's different.
Yeah.
That's different. So that arc is like multiple chapters. Like, it's the first, like, proper, like, arc thing doing. Because the last one, them going to the mountains, is like a chapter. It's like almost there. It feels like, oh man, you were getting at something, and then I'm like, was I confused? Did I just not read this in enough solid enough setting? Because it just felt kind of complicated. It kind of felt bungly.
At the beginning of this,
but I could have been stupid.
I was definitely like, okay, yep, we're gonna do this, and oh, okay, we're going in here, and oh, she's gonna be a maid, and then they started doing the fighting stuff, and I was like, okay, I think this fighting stuff is going pretty well. I'm following stuff, and this is interesting. And these guys think that they're gonna win, and then they don't because they get overpowered. But that was done in what I think is a pretty good way. And then it gets to the end where they bring the book back, and they go, "Here's this book. You shouldn't destroy it. Here's why." And I went, "Oh damn! I think I like this."
I know. I think I got confused about what the book was. So what? Okay, so he is a great author. This Duke guy kidnaps him and forces him to write a book where he is the hero, about the Duke, where he is a hero. And everybody was like, "This is your worst work." But it's not released publicly, is it?
No. Everybody who did see it, which is very few people.
Yeah.
And we find out that he wrote it really bad on purpose because the Duke is a piece of shit.
Yeah.
But
also it's somehow a secret decoded memoir.
Yeah, he's also a wizard.
Yeah.
So he made the book in such a way that if you are any normal person, you read it and you read this awful story about this Duke being a hero.
Yeah.
But if you know what you're looking for, or if you're his son, things start to look different.
Yeah. I think if it was one of those or the other, but it would have made more sense to me and not both, because I was under the understanding then before they get to the last part of like, oh, he wrote this like shit because A, he was just trying to hammer it out, and B, he wanted to make the Duke look bad, and the Duke's too stupid to know better, and like that's why this work is bad, because it's not me trying.
Right.
Because it felt like a commentary about people creating art and being forced under circumstances, to write this. This is clearly written by an author who's already been forced into work he probably had to write more than he wanted to, and starting a new one. Like, it felt like that, but then it was like, also there's the magic thing where you look at it and you get to see a message for you.
Right. And here's the thing. So the emotional core...
It felt like it could have been one or the other.
The emotional core of this story really got me at the end. as well as, and I thought this was just like a stroke of brilliance, and I really need to know who to credit for this. The title of the book changes from Daybreak to Dear Kaba.
The name of his son.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is like, was that localized?
Yeah. Was it not called Daybreak in the original Japanese?
So
they would have had to change it to the English letters on the book, or else they wouldn't have sold that was the book that was Daybreak.
So if the mangaka did that, brilliant. If the localizer did
and
that,
the letterer did that,
brilliant.
Hell yeah.
Either way, I was like, oh my God, that's great.
Did I try to look up the letter and the localizer? Translation and adaptation, William Flanagan. Lettering, North Market Street Graphics. So not layout. Is that Natalie with an H?
Nathalie?
I know, that's what I said. That's what I'm going to say. And I'm like, Nathalie's not a name.
Yeah, it is.
Nathalie's a name?
Yeah.
Never heard. Nathalie Kent. Additional lettering and editing by Ben Applegate and Belinda Ungarath. Omnibus editing by Greg Moore.
I haven't heard of any of those.
I don't know
people.
those names.
But good for them.
Good for them. Glad you got paid, hopefully.
But yeah, so it was at the end of this arc where I came around and I was like,
I thought that was an interesting idea. Like all the emotional in the book stuff was like, oh wow, this is like a bigger message. Like this feels very, and maybe just because it was like a different and a new one, but it like reminds me of like, oh, it's Naruto when we do the Great Naruto Bridge stuff at first, and it's like Naruto has to learn some stuff about like what this man is working on and the way in his interactions with his son and what it means that he's doing even though he's away. But it was like a little bit more complicated and messy parentheses positive, as in like life is messy, kind of gray, not like a mess messy. But I think it being both like he was locked up for 3 years writing this story. I don't like there's a tragedy that is both tragic and like maybe if you tweaked it I'd like it more. But again, this is also like I'm starting to become sick now, so my reading
and I'm not going to say it's like
a little bit
super highbrow or anything.
No, but it was interesting. Like it was like, oh, this is an interesting thing of what it means to like be a great writer in these other works and what your family feels like this. But it's just like his son treating him like a piece of shit. And he's like, when you tell your son like I was fucking kidnapped or like I was forced to write this instead of just having your son insult you so much that you commit to it, like there's a tragedy there.
Yeah.
But it's also kind of like, wouldn't you tell your son that you were like in prison when you had to write that?
I have to assume that he didn't tell him then because he couldn't risk the Duke learning about that or his whole family would be in danger, which is why he had to do it in the first place.
I guess.
So I think this is, for me, this is where it went from being sort of like on the good side of mediocre and normal to like, oh, I think I see it. I think I can see where the quality of this really lies.
Yes. But again, this is maybe my negative sunglasses on a little bit, because I did think that was interesting is that everything that's interesting in that arc has nothing to do with our main characters.
Yeah, that's true.
They just happen to be there while a much more compelling story is taking place that they are small units in.
Yeah, it's interesting that you say that, because from the end of this on, I was on board with it, even though none of the chapters after this were anything like this. Correct.
But it was like, I don't know, like again, I was very like tickled by this of like the whole thing of like the Duke and meeting him and his whole situation. I love that you learn like he's like, oh, I only pick the best women, and they're
blonde
all like
maids.
yeah, but they're all like, I don't even know if I'd call them muscle girls. They're all like weird, aren't they?
Yeah.
They're like weird and misshapen. And then you learn one of them later on was a summon.
Yeah.
And then Lucy gets her key to summon her, but then she's cute because it's like in the eye of the beholder situation.
Yeah.
Which was like both kind of funny and kind of a letdown. But it was just like funny. I'm like, you weren't a human. You were a summon the whole time.
It's only okay because she's a weirdo. The summon is a weirdo.
Yeah. True.
Because if she was just a normal
like
girl after that, I would be like, oh, come on.
Yeah, I know that feels kind of lame. You gotta have something if she's not going to be this weird, wrong, giant muscle woman, which you'd think I'd like, but not the way.
Not like
that.
No, not like that.
Not like that. They're all weird and misshapen and strange. So that arc happens, I think that's the favorite thing that I read of all of it, outside of me getting excited about things that may or may not have been paid off. I thought that was really like a compelling. It felt, honestly, again, felt very One Piecey, but not a One Piece story, because it's the idea of like that, because that's the other thing. Like One Piece does that, where it's like they get to an island and other people are already having an emotional story playing out that the Straw Hats and Luffy are a fulcrum to.
Yep.
And I guess the whole thing is like, Natsu needs to fight them because Lucy's like, wait a minute, there's something about this book, I need to go read it in peace, and she's the one that kind of susses out the magic in it to know the other meaning in it, that she just somehow kind of gets a sense for.
And I think that's another part, is that like up until now, Lucy has been sort of useless. She's got her summons, but like she can't use them properly. In the first chapter, she summons this the Aquaria or whatever,
the mermaid,
and does not get along with her at all, which is played for laughs, and it's sort of funny.
I do like all of her summons have like a personality, like that she has like a relationship with them in that regard,
right? But then we get to this chapter where she's the one who figures this out, and it's like, oh, she does have something to do here. She's surrounded.
She has to become useful. She's not a speedwagon. She's not a speedwagon or a Krillin in the beginning, but she's the audience surrogate to meeting Natsu and the whole fairy tale situation. But she's already somebody who has a personality, who's already a mage, who already has powers and has got collected. Like, I like her mechanic of the summons are like keys, so the idea is she could get more of them and we could meet them later. Like, that's fun. Like, fairy tale has a lot of setups for things that make me excited about later things. Side note of something I remembered. And again, this is one of those ones where it's like the author could just be lying to me, because manga artists love doing that. Again, parentheses positive, parentheses, they're kayfabing me. Not like they're actively trying to harm me for harm's sake. And
Fujimoto ate his goldfish.
I believe he's an insane person.
Yeah.
I don't have enough evidence to truly settle that, but I've seen the manga he writes.
It was already dead.
That doesn't change my opinion. I don't know if that makes it better or worse. But the author made a point of like, he doesn't really know, he doesn't have big plans. He's kind of just riffing. And I think I was already a little like, and then reading that I was a little bit more, like, oh, we're not building things. But also sometimes it doesn't matter about building, because I've talked about fucking Toriko, about like, sometimes you just have to play jazz and know when to call back to things. And even with 3 volumes, we didn't really call back to anything outside of like the story moving forward. There was never like, oh, I remember you from chapter 1 or whatever.
Well, but
I guess you need more time to pass before you start calling back like that.
We'll sort of get to this as we go through the summary, but there's no overarching thing going on here.
The overarching thing is fairy tale and the magic guilds and then the black guilds. And but you're right, there isn't like a bigger problem on the horizon outside of their own
destructive tendencies.
Yes, but I was going to say that into their own optics.
Right.
But yeah, that is a good point, and that does and I guess you don't need. I guess the bigger thing is Natsu wants to see his surrogate dad.
Yeah.
For some reason that he's been separated from. For some reason,
but he doesn't really try that.
But he doesn't
hard
really try to do that.
The first chapter,
and it's also hard for him because traveling makes him ill.
Yeah.
I guess another fun fact from the bonus things is originally the story wasn't about wizards and like a different story entirely, but Natsu and Happy were still there, but he was a courier
that got sick all the time.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was still like that was a trait that got carried over, and that would make more sense of like, oh, I have to deliver this letter. Oh, I'm sick on the train. And it's like again, the first couple times it can be kind of funny, but after a while, it's just like, again, I have to waste time on this again. Like
that was exhausting in what we got. I can only imagine how exhausting it would be.
I'm like, does he get usually stuff like that, it's like it gets less problematic as time goes on, but it's like, no, he's full tilt sick every time he gets in a vehicle, enough to make it a problem.
Like immediately and fully.
Yes. Later, Natsu and his guildmate Gary Fullbuster. What a name.
What?
His name is Gary Fullbuster.
I thought it was Gray.
It's Gray, you're right. Sorry, it's not Gray. It should be Gary. Gary Fullbuster.
Son of a...
That was dyslexia. That was a dyslexia, but more than anything, it was a hope and a wish in my heart. Because Gary Fullbuster, tell me, Brad, what name is cooler, Gray Fullbuster or Gary Fullbuster? Is a motherfucker. That man will suplex you. Because that reminds me of like Gary Buster Holmes. Like he just sounds like he's like, yeah, fucking Gary Fullbuster. Like that's a wrestler name.
Yes, that's a wrestler
that's
name.
So much cooler.
Not a fairy tale wizard name.
No, but also they're all wizards, but they're not wizards. Like they feel like they call them wizards. It feels like when Naruto were before they were ninjas. They were originally supposed to be wizards, and that's why they all their ninjutsus. But it's like you're wizards, but like you're not wizards. You're just people that each of you has a special power, but also occasionally, I guess there's generic magic everybody knows. But we've classified this as magic and that you're wizards because of that. And maybe it's just that, like, that's how it was localized. I think there's a spot. Another thing that I really love about this omnibus that we have is that there is localization notes, which I love. And they make a point about localizing it to wizards because it's like, well, we don't have an exact word for this, and this is as close to the vibe and all that. So, like, I don't know how much of that is me going. Because anytime I hear wizard, I go, like, oh, yes, the staff, the wand, the hat, and all that. It's like, that is not this even a little bit.
Yeah.
And that's not its fault. But it does make you go, like, yeah, wizards.
They're sorcerers.
They're jujutsu sorcerers. I completely lost my... Oh, yeah, I was talking about Gary Fullbuster. He's Gary Fullbuster now. He's the Sasuke, right?
I think so.
Yes.
I like him better than Sasuke.
Yes, but not by a lot, because I really hate that his gimmick is that he strips for some reason, but he's not, like, stripping like a stripper. You just, like, turn your head away in a panel and you turn it back and, like, his shirt is missing or his shoes are missing. And it's
I mean, I think there's a lot of that kind of non sequitur comedy in here.
Yeah.
So it's just another example of that.
I don't like it because they're very one-note jokes.
Yeah.
And he keeps doing them in times where you're like, I'm frying bigger fish right now, author. I don't want to gag about how his shirt's gone all of a sudden. But he's not funny enough with it for it to continually be funny. Like, the reactions around it aren't interesting or funny enough to warrant doing it all the time.
Yeah. I definitely think his interactions with Natsu are much funnier than that bit.
Yes, because it like happens with Lucy a lot, and it's like, I guess it's better than fucking Lucky Letcher from Fire Force. Everything's better than Lucky Letcher, and I don't know if it'd be funnier if that, like, oops, my shirt got caught on a tree branch, and it's not just you turn your head and his shirt's off already. You're just like, what the fuck? And that's what Lucy goes, what the fuck are you doing? And it's like, what is this bit? Where are we going with this? Why is this happening? But he's our Sasuke because to Natsu's fire, he has ice powers. And he's fine. He's whatever. Like, he's not bad, but he's not, like... Again, he's missing something, and I don't know what. Like, he's almost...
I get that, yeah.
I don't know, like, I feel like a lot of the gimmicks in this story are the time paradox ghostwriter thing where the editor goes, it's just like, you didn't give them depth. You just gave them gimmicks.
Yeah.
And they're not like... And, like, maybe at some point he'll get a backstory that's like, well, this is why this always happened. It's very tragic. This is a classic manga move. It's like that silly thing that you think is stupid and silly. Actually,
Don't you feel bad about laughing at it now?
Yeah. You laughed at Senor Pink, but now you will cry. No, but honestly, but also, like, Senor Pink rules because it is both genuine and a parody.
Yeah.
But also, it's like genuinely, like, he's so hard boiled, Brad. They're having a manly competition, and there's like, it's beautiful. But also, he's dressed as a baby. But also, he dressed as a baby because he had his wife, and they had a baby, and the baby died, and she was in like a fucking like coma, or like she was like in the hospital. So he'd start wearing the baby things because it made her laugh, and that's why he's dressed up as a fucking baby all the time. But he's so hard boiled, Brad. Like, I'm emotionally on board for but also Senor Pink is a character who's in one arc and we'll never see again.
Burger King One Piece.
Like, just like like there's bits like that in One Piece, but they're more specialized. It's not like he's always going to be on transportation. We're in a big world. He's constantly whatever.
Sometimes I eat the Burger King fries and I go, oh, I really like these. Do I like these more than McDonald's? And then I have McDonald's French fries and I'm like, no.
Burger King is of the trio of Burger King and Wendy's and McDonald's. Unless I am like, there's no other option, I will never go to a Burger King. Admittedly, also, some of that is because I get the nuggets, because it's usually like, I'm in a hurry, I want to eat while I'm driving, and I can't do that with really like a burger.
Yeah.
And also, I don't really like fast food burgers.
Burger King nuggets are awful.
They're awful. I don't even remember what their fries are like.
I don't mind Whoppers. And like I said,
Never had one.
The fries, when I'm eating them, I'm like, oh,
remember,
these are good.
Do not remember their fries. I'm gonna agree with you on that because my brain then escalated to like Arby's, which it's like you have to like I have to be starving and you'd have to be pointing a gun. Like it's like this is your last chance for food for the next 7 days, and all you can choose is Arby's. Like otherwise, it's like you have to point a gun at me, and even then I'd go maybe I can make a run for it to not eat at Arby's. This is not Fairy Tale is not Arby's.
No, I'm not so averse to Arby's,
but I like Fairy Tale. Fairy Tale is Burger King.
I have to be in a very specific mood for Arby's.
I could believe that they have the meats. Sure.
I disagree with that, by the way.
Know.
They have a meat.
Yes, but Gary Fullbuster are approached by Ezla Scarlet, one of Fairy Tale's strongest members, to help her stop the Dark Guild Eisenwald from using the cursed flute lullaby to carry out an assassination. But they don't know that at the beginning. I think they just know that they're getting the flute lullaby.
I think Ezra might be my favorite woman main character in all of Shonen anything. She's strong. She does not have any kind of like sexual thing except for very, very specific thing, which doesn't come up very often.
What does that jog my memory?
She's battle smart, but not necessarily intelligent.
I would agree with that.
And
I do like that about her.
While being very scary, is also very kind and upright.
She is very shonen.
Yeah.
And I know we have other, because my brain went to like, oh, what about Akane? And what about other characters that I can't think of right now because my brain's shorting out. But like she is even more than, I mean, Akane's shonen-y.
Akane
but like Akane's not in a battle.
Adjacent.
Because she's not in a battle thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, fighting. Ezra,
like you can place Akane into like a shonen allegory. But it's not shonen itself.
Because it's not a battle. In the battle context, where
Right.
there's like a toughness of literal body. She's somebody else whose design is just like almost there, but just like missing something. She just
get
feels
that.
like,
I get that. Yeah.
Again, she feels like she walked up to the wall of like, I'm going to overcome this and be a very good design. And she's just like...
I think they did that on purpose.
For everyone?
So, no. Specifically Ezra. I think that was a deliberate choice to make so that when she does her armor transformation stuff, it can be like, oh my gosh, it can be such a big change, you know?
Yes, but she could have been cool and become cooler.
But that would have been hard.
But I like, again, it just feels like the author is capable. That's why I'm just confused by it.
Yeah.
Like, I guess some of it is like, yeah, she's kind of a hard ass at times, and she's the one because Natsu and Gary Fullbuster, that's his name, are constantly at odds because they are fire and ice, and she's the one that gets them to play nice because she's going to literally kick their asses.
Literally everyone is scared of her, which I think is a really fun characterization for that kind of character.
Yes. Honestly, I think I'd like her more if she was cool. She looked cooler. Like, honestly, I like, because talking about it more and you gushing about it then is just like, you're right. I like these things. And I think it's like, I just wish she looked like cooler and more of a badass. And that's not like, if she was sexier, but it's just like, if all the designs were just like, that her armor was a little cooler, her hair was a little bit more different, like she's just...
I think that's going to be the reoccurring theme here, which is, but what if a little more?
But all of it is, what if a little bit more, because it feels like the chef is good for it, and he just doesn't. But it's not a choice.
Why did you stop short?
Yeah, why did
every single time?
You could have put another dash of like cayenne pepper in there or something. It just constantly feels like, because again, the vibe of this has a lot more energy to it, and I feel like if it looked cooler, it would be cooler. Yeah. I don't know.
I will say, I think this is more. I want to be clear. I don't think you're wrong. But I also think this is more of a you problem.
Yes.
Because the very exaggerated nature of like One Piece and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like that is your thing.
But like Black Clover isn't that far, but I like the designs in Black Clover a lot more. Like the only reason I stopped reading Black Clover was that it was not generic, but it was like, it's doing the shonen things, and it's doing them very well. But I just reached a point where I'm like, I'm full of this right now. But I never thought it was like, I could never say it was bad, and I'm not going to say Fairy Tail is bad. We had
not at all. No.
We had an example recently reading redacted of a popular shonen series that we hadn't really taken in before. That when we read it and watched some of it, we were like, and admittedly that was only one chapter, but it was like we were both like, this is mid, and I would not call. I can't bring myself to say Fairy Tail is mid.
No. So I sort of feel like. You definitely need more.
I need more in a way that feels like it should be here and it's not.
Yeah.
And I think that's why I'm giving it the benefit of the doubt a little bit and not like I don't want to dunk on it.
I think that
I'm in a very specific state right now of my opinion.
I think in general, people who like this, myself included,
yes,
don't know that they could have more.
I would say that is a running theme of my and your opinion a lot, especially with the episode we just recorded before this. But I'm not... what is it? I'm not angry, I'm just disappointed. But disappointment's too strong of a word here.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Because it's like... And I think some of this is born out of the hope of like, oh my gosh, look at this wacky big shonen adventure that I have hundreds of chapters to read. And being like... bummed out by, and again, I'm also struck with the timeline of what if I didn't read this while I was sick and kind of lost my momentum, hardcore on it, and then when I got back, it was a little more pulling teeth for me, and I was more frustrated by things that if I was doing better, like sometimes there's like it's not every work is like, oh, you had a bad day and you read it and it was ruined, but there's some that are just teetering on the line enough that just like a puff of air from your life can tip you over from one side to the other, and that can cause compounding changes in either direction.
I don't know if I experienced that, but I know what you mean.
Because I have the one that many years ago, I don't remember if I already had it before, because I think I like learned it from somebody on a podcast. I don't remember what it was, but the thing I will always...
I learned it from listening to you.
Exactly. The thing that always crystallized it, many years ago, I was watching through all the Disney animated movies with a friend, and we had watched The Black Cauldron, which neither of us had ever seen or knew anything about. And very early on, you meet the like comedy animal sidekick Gurgi, who's this like fuzzy gray mutt goblin-y thing. And instantly, I was very charmed by him and loved him. And she hated his guts, and that dictated the way that we felt about the rest of the movie. Because the rest of Black Cauldron is like just teetering on the line between like. It's a cult classic. I wouldn't call it an amazing movie. I don't even know if I'd call it great. But like I have a good time with it. Like, it's a weird thing. It's a weird relic of its time. It's got some interesting things in it. But it's one of those movies where it's like if you trip on the wrong side early on, as if you don't like Gurgi, even if he's not omnipresent, everything you come up now, instead of being like, oh, here's $1 that I got from liking Gurgi, I will pass through that this old man is sometimes a little annoying and he's fine. More money was taken from her every new time something like that happened, and there was not enough money coming into it, and we split. And in very, very rare cases, because usually when you get into the red, it starts compounding. Because when you get into the red, your opinion is forfeit, and you start nitpicking everything.
Yeah.
And I am like, I can feel in my body, I am just barely on the line of that right now. I'm nitpicking a little bit, but I'm not in the full on, why this, why that, why that. But I can, like, as we saw earlier with like why are they feeling like this Fairy Tail? It's in the peripheries of my mental consciousness, but I don't think I'm fully there. But like that's my point. Usually when you get into the red, you're toast. Your opinion is forfeit. You will nitpick a billion things. There's a conversation with you is no longer interesting. Sometimes it's other people. Sometimes it's me. But maybe there's some other ones, but there was one that is also fully in my brain forever and ever as an example of continuing that lineup. We would occasionally watch other anime movies because we were watching through chronologically, and we watched Antasia from I was about to say Mel Brooks, not Mel Brooks. The guy that did Secret of Nim and American Tail. What's his name? I think he's Irish. Anastasia.
Oh, okay. I was like,
sorry. My
what?
brain, I
is
think
this like a Fantasia
I know, my brain
sequel or
said,
something?
My brain first said Fantasia, and I'm like, that's not it. No, Anastasia, the Russian princess. And I was like, I got like in a big deep pit watching the beginning, and somewhere in the middle, I turned the fuck around on it and ended with like, wow, I loved that movie.
Because Rasputin is creepy as fuck.
Yes, but it was more than that, because it was like I didn't like some of the characters, like our like main prince and her, and then I turned around somehow, just like a complete 180 while I was in the red, and I'm like, I didn't know that was possible, and it gave me hope and stuff. So I'm like, that's why I'm like, I want to see the timeline where I didn't read this while I was sick and lost momentum on it, because I feel like this is a series that momentum is very helpful for, which you had a lot of because you had to read it over the course of 3 days.
I didn't have to.
No, you put yourself in a situation that you did. But no, let's get back to it. So so Natsu, Lucy, Gary Fullbuster, and Ezra Scarlet, Urza. It's Urza. Weird. So we learned about dark guilds, which are guilds that are basically like, we don't want to follow the rules anymore, and they become the dark web, and then they just become baddies. And they want this like weird ancient flute that one of them learned how to like, I don't remember if there was just something, again, this is where it's like, maybe I missed something.
Sealed.
One of them learns how to dispel it, but I don't think there's any particulars with that, right? They're just like, have a special guy that can go do that.
Yeah.
But there's no like extra details about.
They never explain that.
Why
they just
he
sort of
can
go,
do that.
He's good at breaking seals for some reason.
Yeah.
Or dispelling magic or something.
Yeah, which seems weird because it feels like there'd be more like.
But we never actually see him do it.
No, he just has he's a special guy who has the flute.
He's got shadow powers.
And he has to
His
bring the
name is
flute.
Kage.
There you go. And he has to bring the flute back to their guild leader.
And he just does. He just shows up with it.
Yeah.
We get no explanation. And later on, there's another thing where it's like, we need him to break through this thing. And he doesn't at that point. So I don't know if he's going to come back at some point. And
I feel like we're
going to have that power.
I feel like we're going to see Eisen Wald again. But no, like in the beginning, you're like, because you're spending some time with them talking about it together in a bar away from all of our characters.
Yeah.
And then ours get like, because the main guy of Fairy Tail, the leader, who's like this weird old guy, is like, oh, he's away at this big magic conference somewhere else. Yeah. And at the time I go, oh, that's just so he's not present right now, and we're trying to build bigger world stuff.
Yes, but
little would I know that was foreshadowing. Little did I know that was a Chekhov's gun. Did you know that was a Chekhov's gun at the time or no?
No. In fact, I thought that was very well executed, because normally I can pick that stuff out, and I did not.
I did. Again, there's a lot of like, very much like the book thing. There's interesting ideas about this. Like, the author is having cool, interesting ideas to keep twisting. Because the idea is that our adventurer gang is on the train to go to the town to go find them to do whatever they're doing. I think she's looking at, maybe there's something else. I don't remember.
So she heard people in a bar.
That's what it was.
Talking
she's
about
there during that scene, them talking about this thing.
And so she's on her way back to the guild. So she gets back to the guild. This is Ezra.
Yeah.
She gets back to the guild and goes, I need you two.
We need the gang.
Gary and Natsu. Fucker.
Gary Fullbuster is so much better.
To go with me to investigate this.
Yes.
It's not a real mission.
Yeah.
It's just something I want to do.
I need a really strong team.
And you're going to do it. And they're like, yes, ma'am. And then correct. Mary Jo is like, Lucy, go with them. And she's like, why?
Keep an eye on
them.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, fine.
Yeah.
So our audience insert gets to go with.
Yes.
And so then they go off. They're riding on the train. Obviously, Natsu doesn't hear a thing they talk about because he's sick. And Ezra punches the shit out of him to like fix it.
But it doesn't work.
I don't know.
Because at a point, they get off the train at the location and they forgot I guess there was some chaos at the time, and they forget Natsu is still on the train. So Natsu's still on the train with all of a bunch of the Eisen.
No, just the one.
Just the one?
Just Kage.
Okay. I don't remember what happens there. I think that was like my maximum sick.
Kage starts talking to him, and it's pretty clear pretty quickly that Kage knows he's a fairy tale wizard.
Yeah.
And Natsu's sick, so he has no idea what's going on.
And can't do nothing about it.
And then...
He's not really paying attention.
Kage finally, in all of this talk, mentions that he's in a dark guild, and Natsu's like, I heard that.
Yeah.
But then Kage kicks him in the face or something, and they start having a fight. And it's at this point where Natsu jumps off of the train like he should have done a while ago.
Yeah.
And then gets picked up because the rest of them are coming in a magic car.
Those are driving a car that uses... Okay, this is... sorry, another nitpick. I'm very sorry. But this is also a thing that I've been annoyed. I had a post about in the Discord related to completely different series, where there's the whole point of like, oh, the car uses your magical power to drive. So Ezra is powering the car. And then she has a giant fight where she's like, I'm already tapped from the car, but I'm going to push myself further. And then she drives the car again. And I hate the constant, like, this is sapping my energy. This is going to come back later. And then it's like, nope, she was fine. And she just tanked everything.
So I'm going to explain this because I think this is actually done well as far as a story goes.
I'm happy to be shifted.
To start off, they're chasing after the train.
Yes.
And she is using a lot of her magic power.
I think
because the faster you go, the more you have to use.
Yeah.
I think that was a good setup to make sure, because she is ridiculously powerful.
Yes, and I agree with that. I like it because it means this super big, giant, badass motherfucker, you don't get to see it full power right away. And even not at full power, she's still really strong. That I like.
So then she fights.
Yes.
And then they are in the car again, at which point she isn't going as fast as possible. She's going a normal speed, and she still ends up like passing out at the end. So I think
yes, but
there's consistency.
I want to suffer story consequences when you have to tell me a character is pushing themselves in a situation, because otherwise,
she did pass out at the end there.
Did it matter?
I also don't know why like Lucy couldn't have hooked up to it.
Yeah, or any of them. All of them have magic power.
A whole
didn't
lot
do anything
the whole time. Lucy was important, but she didn't do a whole lot of spell stuff.
True. Is that the part where they're when they're fighting the Duke, when one of her summons is, because whatever summons are based off of
Cancer.
Yeah, are based off of constellations and stuff. And I honestly really loved the gag where everybody's like, "Oh, it's a crab guy. He's going to say that crab thing that all the crab characters say."
Well, that was Happy specifically, and this is a running thing where Happy is sort of like fourth wall breaking.
A little bit.
Which most of them I did find pretty funny. There are a couple that fell flat for me, but not consequential.
Okay, we'll get to Happy in a second. But I like that's the big thing. And then when he comes out, he says
shrimp.
I could have sworn it was eel, but you're telling me shrimp. I might be thinking of something else then. But it's just like, and like that's his gimmick, is that he's a weird man with claw scissor hands that can cut people's hair and fight people. But his vocal stim is saying shrimp instead of crab. Yeah. And I'm like, what a stupid idea. I love that a lot. It's very silly. And I like that, he's like a stylist kind of idea. Like, again, there's like ideas in here that I like and stuff. But like, I'm not blaming, to go back to the original topic, I'm not blaming and saying like, oh, it's such a failing of Fairy Tale, of the whole like, you didn't suffer story consequences for being tired. There's just a lot of Shonen stuff, because I think I posted that while I was in the middle of the Black Parade reading Kyoshi.
Yeah.
And I think about fucking every Demon Slayer fight from maybe even the arc before Pleasure District, but definitely Pleasure District, and the one after that, where it's like Tanjiro is like pushed to like the nth degree, and the fight just like, he already seems spent from phase 1 or 2, and now we're on phase 5,
4 broken bones,
and he's pushed, and he has to push beyond all of his limits, and it's like, who cares? Like, you've blown past the limit. Like, it doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah.
The story, he's endless, but it's like, I've got to push a little bit further. It's like it's like I'm still always stuck on. It's like, you at your full power couldn't cut the demon's neck, and now you are 3 phases into the fight, and you are more tired than you've ever been. And the demon has pulled out all sorts of fucking bullshit.
Oh, but he's gonna breathe slightly differently now,
and that's what's gonna let him cut the thing he couldn't cut when he was at full power. Fuck off.
I don't think that's what's happening here.
No, but it. And I'm saying this is a bigger frustration I was shown in, where it's like, if you're going to tell me there is stakes of, oh, this is tiring someone, and like I said, if it was just setting up she's not at full power, so when she fights everybody, she still kicks everybody's ass, but you have space that can escalate into that. I like that's fine if that was the point of it, but the fact that she goes back in there and is still driving, at least to my understanding, fine. But you're telling me she was a little slower. And I know she passes out then, but it's when the adventure's over, so it's like you don't have to emotionally feel a thing.
I am going to give you a pass on this.
Yeah,
given the situation that you were reading.
This is not a nitpick of Fairy Tale. This is a bigger. I don't think that's a failing of Fairy Tale. That is a bigger thing that's on my mind in Shonen stuff, and this is one thing. But I don't think in this story it is not as bad as the Black Parade. It is not as bad as Demon Slayer. It's not as bad at all.
But the passing out is later.
Yes.
So first,
yes,
they catch up. They get to the next train station.
Yes.
Right. So Kage has escaped to the next train station.
Yes.
They follow
where the rest of his gang is.
When they show up to the train station, all of this Eisenwald gang is waiting for them, led by this assassin guy who uses like wind powers or something like that. I thought he had a decent design for a villain. It wasn't anything like super special, but he had some nice angular curvature
he was weird.
stuff to him.
He was a weird looking fellow.
And at this point, he does the villain monologue thing, and he's like, I'm going to use this speaker system to use this Mongolian death whistle to kill tons and tons of people that are crowded around this station.
So yeah, that's what I like the idea. There's the original, because you're like, what are they going to do this? Because you think it's just going to put people to sleep, and then it's like the sleep is death, and then it's like, oh, you're taking over the train station, so you can use the PA system to kill a bunch of people at once because you're fucking angry at the world or whatever.
Yeah,
and that is already like, wow, that's a problem. I mean, already was a problem, but it's like, that is a compelling setup of why we need to solve this, and also why they were on the trains and took over the train station. Because you don't know why. You know they're taking it over, but you don't know why. Very, very die-hardy in that way. It's like, why are they taking over this building? Yeah. And like sussing that out is interesting.
So, the big bad guy is like, peace out, and he breaks through a window. And he's like, I'm gonna go do this. And Ezra is like, okay, Natsu, Gary, you go after him. I'm going to take care of these guys. Lucy, you look for Kage. No, wait. Who was she going after?
I don't remember.
She was looking for somebody. I forget who. And it's at this point that we find out what Ezra's actual power is, besides just being super powerful. She has this ability called re-equip, where she like summons swords. So she starts fighting these guys, and she like summons a sword out of nowhere. And one of the guys goes, she's got a sword. And the other guy goes, you idiot.
We all got swords. Brian, I'm so excited you got to do that. I don't remember if I... Oh, yeah. No, I think I said that when I was reading it. I have the page.
I took a picture of it.
Yeah, Lucy shouts out, she brought out her sword, her magic sword, and the bad guys go, that's no big deal, we've got magic swords all over our guild. And I think when I was reading this, because I was home at this time in my room, I shouted that. I smiled really big. Yeah, that's the page. I smiled really big and I shouted that, we all have swords. And I'm like, oh man, I'm glad you remembered to talk about that, because that was weeks ago for me and I wouldn't have remembered.
What they weren't counting on was the fact that she doesn't just have a sword. She also has a spear and an axe and a halberd and whatever. Like, she can literally just summon a new weapon to, switch things up in the middle of an attack.
Yes.
Which I think is cool.
I feel like there was a Final Fantasy protagonist that had that power in like
there is.
And I'm only vaguely remembering that from when he guessed it in Tekken, whoever it was.
In, what is it? Fate? Whatever the thing is where they like summon heroes from the past. Fate Grand Order or something.
Sure.
The most powerful guy that you can summon in there is crap. What's his name? It's Enkidu and
oh shoot,
Gilgamesh.
Yes.
You can summon Gilgamesh, and he's like in gold armor.
Yeah.
And his power is infinite swords. He shoots infinite swords at you.
That's pretty cool.
And it's similar to that. She can just keep summoning swords
weapons
and changing things
stuff
up.
like that. Yeah.
So I thought, it's different from Gilgamesh, but it's a nice power to have for someone who's like super powerful.
It's nice to see a woman with martial powers.
Yeah.
I mean, that's nice, I will say.
On top of that, and I think this is a little bit later that she whips this out, the armor that she's wearing.
Yes.
She can change that as well to give herself like different stat boosts. So she changes to one and like she's faster, and then she changes to another one
armored
that gives her like
stronger.
a really super powered single attack and stuff like that. So
indeed,
goes along with like, I think she's my favorite woman shonen battler protagonist thing.
Interesting. Interesting.
So
I feel like I have to have a counterpoint to that, and I just don't think I do. And I think that just speaks to the dearth of female shonen, like, because I still don't know a female shonen battler, at the very least in Jump, let alone at all. I'm sure one exists somewhere.
Yeah.
This is very unrelated. This is very, very tangentially related with that whole like women in this. The random thought hit me, and somebody had one answer that did satisfy it then, but there was none of the good ones. Was there ever a female mascot platformer?
Oh, I guess Coco doesn't count.
Coco?
Coco Bandicoot.
No, she doesn't count.
I mean, you do get to play as her.
She's a mirror. You get to play as Amy. It doesn't count.
Yeah, you get to play as Princess Peach.
This is the one. It's here is the one on the front of the box from moment 1.
Yeah. I mean, Samus.
Somebody said that, and I was like, that's not a mascot platformer.
Yeah. I mean, I sort of feel like it is, but I also would say it doesn't count.
Metroid is not a mascot platformer.
That's a woman until the end.
But also, again, you do not put Metroid is not or Samus is not in the lineup of like Mario and Sonic and Bubsy and Gex and Vex and
I get what you're saying.
And Punky Skunky and
I would say it's on the line.
Other ones that my brain is blanking on right now. Because there was a bunch of them back in the day.
Kazooie's a female.
That was my getting closer, but it's like Banjo's there, but it's like that was the close. There was one that I got, but like it is interesting that like I think some people have done it in the indie space now. Because like there's that like yo-yo game that is very that, and I guess
Celeste. Does that count?
It's not that's just like a regular platformer. I would say Hat in Time, actually, now that I think about it. But the one that was old enough that fit the criteria enough before the noun that wasn't just an indie game, I think somebody told me then was Shantae. And I'd go, yeah, I'd say Shantae fits.
Okay.
But it is just still weird that we never got, like, I think I still want the, like, it's Sonic, but it's a girl. But it's not girl Sonic. But it's like, it's that same thing of, like, I want the shonen protagonist, but I want it to be a girl. But I don't want it to be the girl shonen, like, I don't want to just be, here's female Luffy, but it's like, here is the girl that does all the things that are the shonen-y things, but is also like... But I want that. Like, I want the knucklehead being the main character, and it's a girl. And I don't want it to be constantly like, oh, draw or whatever. Like, you know. Like, I don't... It's just weird to me that hasn't happened yet. And maybe that's...
It's not weird to me.
You think it's weird out of all the manga that just hasn't happened yet?
I don't think it's weird. I think it should. I think it's a travesty that it hasn't.
I think it's strange because it feels so simple. I guess I don't know. But yeah, let's get back on track.
Okay, so
we haven't even gotten to the big twist. We haven't even actually gotten to the fireworks factory, even though it seems like we're already there, which is interesting.
Ezra defeats the whole gang. But before that, Kage goes after Natsu and Gray.
Yes. Gary.
Ezra goes out and finds what's his name? The big bad guy.
It's not in my notes. Let me go look it
up. She goes out and he's still outside. But this is where he's like, haha, actually, my plan was to just keep you guys here. My plan is actually further down the train line. And he uses this like really powerful wide scale wind magic to like put a barrier around the train station and trap them inside. Which to their credit, they do make a point to go like, oh, that took a lot out of him. He has to like recover his magic.
Yes.
So Ezra goes back in. She's like, we got to figure out how to get out of here. They're going after the guild leaders.
Yes. The reason the actual reason, again, very diehard, the actual reason they took over the train station, trying to kill all the people was a bluff. That was not their plan. That was just to make them lock down the train stations everywhere. Is that the only way to get to where all the guild masters are having their meeting is via the train line. And with that controlled, nobody can get in or out. But this guy has wind power, so he can just fly there. And his plan is to fly there and play Lullaby and kill all the guild leaders for making them a dark guild.
Lullaby.
I think I said it was Lullaby. My notes say Lullaby. Very early on, we learned that the flute is called Lullaby.
Yeah. So he flies off. Ezra goes back in. She's like, we need to find Kage because he can break seals so he can get us through this wall that I can't break through.
Yeah.
At which point they go and Kage is like following Natsu and Natsu like beats him up, obviously. And then they're like, wait, don't like completely knock him out. We need him to unlock this. We need him to break through here. And they're about to take him back when one of his guildmates, who can like phase through walls or something, phases through a wall and stabs him in the back.
Yes,
to make sure that they can't use him to break out.
Yeah. And it shows their Dark Guild and their willingness to just make sacrifices for.
Now, there's been some. They talked with Kage before about some stuff, and Kage's already sort of like, wait a minute, why are you guys so good? You need to just use your power and be lorded over people and all that stuff. And so you see the gears turning for him. But he's stabbed now. They can't use him to break out. What are they going to do? Well, this is where Happy goes, oh, right, I have a MacGuffin. So it turns out that Happy was, I guess, at Lucy's house when Virgo came to give the key.
Oh yeah, this was weird. This was a little too high level brain for this early in the series for mechanics.
So
like this felt like a later series pull.
One of the maids that the Duke had.
It's not it's not an ass pull, but it's close. It's radical enough where I'm like, you didn't teach me this mechanical enough for you to for this to not feel like an ass pull, even though mechanically it's not.
So one of the maids is one of these spirits or whatever.
Yeah, one of these summonable homies.
Because the Duke is a wizard, right?
Yes.
After the Duke gets defeated, apparently this celestial or whatever is like, oh, I want Lucy to have my key because she's cool or something like that. And it shows up at Lucy's house, but Lucy isn't there, and Happy has it. But Happy forgets about it until right now.
Till that moment.
So Lucy takes the key, makes a contract. Virgo shows up. She's now small and skinny, right? Which we mentioned earlier.
Correct. The giant weird maid shaped person is now a regular cute maid.
She's into BDSM, so it's fine. She's a weirdo.
Shaking my head.
So we'll give it a pass.
Yeah.
But
shaking my head harder.
Part of her power is like digging or something like that for some reason. I don't know. And so after forming a contract, she's able to dig a path under the wind wall so they can get out. And so they go after. Did you find the guy's name?
No.
What were you doing?
I looked around and then I was listening to you and didn't think about it.
So they go after him again. Ezra is driving the car, but Natsu goes on ahead. This is where we go and we find the bad guy. He has been like walking or running down the train track because he used that really big wind spell, so he didn't have enough magic to fly, which is the reasoning for why they're able to catch up with him. So this is where he and Ezra have this big battle, right? So big shonen battle, dig deep. Turns out Ezra gets more powerful, like the more emotional he is.
You're saying Ezra. Did you mean Natsu?
Natsu. And I thought this was really good and like a great use of a mascot sidekick. So Happy had like flown Natsu out there and then was sort of like knocked out for a little while because Happy used up their magic or whatever to fly.
Aragorn, I think.
Okay, that's why I forgot.
Yeah, it's not very good.
And so Happy is watching this fight and then goes, "Oh, I get it. Natsu gets powered up by this emotions." And so Happy goes, "Gray is a better sorcerer than you." and Natsu like loses his shit.
Yeah.
Because they're always at odds.
Correct.
And I thought that was brilliant. And like, as a character who wasn't doing a whole lot besides being comic relief, I thought that was a great use. So Natsu like super powers up, beats the shit out of the guy, right?
Aragorn, yeah.
And then the rest of the team catch up and they're like, cool, we're taking Kage to the hospital because he's stabbed.
Yeah, but he's still alive.
And he's like, and Kage's like, why are you helping me? I'm the bad guy. You should just let me die.
I'm
like,
the bad guy. Duh. No, I was trying to just get the duh.
And of course, they're like, no, we're the good guys. We're not going to let you die.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, maybe being a good guy is good.
Maybe he'll join.
But
Fairy Tale.
then he picks up the flute and Shadow goes away. And because he's like, you guys are so dumb. I'm going to do it. And he like goes off and they're like, no. So Kage shows up to the guild meeting place and he's like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to kill all these guys and it's going to create a better world or whatever. At which point the Fairy Tale guild leader, who we have met a bunch, even though we didn't talk about him very much.
I have his name somewhere.
He's a fun character, but he's like a little tiny
silly
old man.
Little old man.
He shows up and he's like,
Makarov
hey,
Dreyer.
what do you got there? You look like you're in a lot of pain. You should go to the hospital. What, you got a cool flute there? What's that? And the guy's like, I'm going to play it. I'm going to play this flute. And then he can't. He's like, I can't do it.
Yeah, well, Makarov dissuades Eisenwald member Kageyama from carrying out the plot. And then a thing happens that I didn't like.
Okay.
Because I thought this was already a giant battle adventure and we had multiple twists and turns and I was very content to go. And we're here at the end of this and we can stop. But that doesn't happen.
Yeah, but Fairy Tale hasn't destroyed a massive thing yet.
They haven't destroyed all the train lines on these fights?
I don't think they did, though.
I guess.
I mean, Natsu did break down a couple walls, but that wasn't very much.
Yeah. So I guess the idea is that more destruction needs to occur.
Yeah.
Okay.
So basically what happens is
I guess I don't like this because it feels like what happened already feels very like satisfying as an end. And then it's like, here's the stretch on your tippy toes moment. And it's like, well, I'm tired. I don't want to stretch on my tippy toes.
I think this was more just sort of like a rug pull. Because it was like, oh, we're gonna escalate this more.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It feels like an escalation at a point where I'm like, no, you escalate. Like the whole thing of like figuring out what their deal is, and then them taking over the train station, and then going, that wasn't my real actual end game. My end game was trying to kill all of them. We wanted to kill, like that was interesting and fascinating. Like, and I don't think I didn't need another thing.
Well, and I want to contextualize this because it at the start of it. You go, oh my God, they're escalating again. So I get your feeling.
Yeah.
But then like it ends right away and it's like, oh, it was a joke.
I guess.
So basically the flute is sentient.
Yes, there's a spirit inside it that is awakened. Because it's not playing. It's like, what the fuck?
It's Ichi the Witch living magic. And it's just this big monster thing that's like, I'm going to kill everybody because that's what I do. I'm going to suck up your souls.
I bust out of this flute.
And then the three, Natsu, Gary, and Ezra just kick its ass.
Just beat them up, even though they're all tired from their fights.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so everybody goes, oh, they saved the day. But then it fell on top of the house. And everybody's like, oh, our fancy house that we used to meet in.
Yeah.
I can't believe you, Fairy Tale.
Dang it, Fairy Tale. We were already here talking about you guys, and here you are making a bigger ass of everything.
Yeah. And that pretty much wrapped it up.
Yes. Conversation point of thing I remembered reading through it because it's the kind of thing that you forget with time. There's a lot of humor in the middle of things, and sometimes the tone is not at a time when we should be silly in the way we're being silly. Not to say that you can't have, like, it's important to have levity in moments, but the type of levity you have is important. In paging through and finding things, there's a part where they're like let me get the exact thing, but there's like a part where they're driving, and like randomly from things happening, like Lucy is like, fuck, where is it? I guess, like, is Kage with them? And it's like the car bumps and, like, Lucy's butt ends up in his face. And it's like, why are you doing this right now? Like, a bunch of people are about, like, the terrorists are about to fucking kill everybody.
Yeah.
Now is not the time for tee-hee sexy joke that nobody likes. Like, what are we... There's just points where, like, the wackiness feels very just like, we're being wacky, and it doesn't feel like... Because it's like I said, like, there's ways to do comedy and levity in moments that feels that it fits in the scene without kind of... Like, it takes the release valve a little bit of the pressure, but it doesn't, like, completely ruin...
Yeah.
Ruins maybe too hard of a turn
well, and that's,
for this.
That's
but, like,
the thing.
It, like, messes with moments of, like, we're having a big energy climactic, and now we're still having goofy hijinks that are of the same flavor at any other time.
So
and it, like, messes with tone and intensity.
That one definitely
That one's extra
out,
bad.
But
there was other bits.
I don't have any, because I definitely remember there were a couple that didn't hit with me. But I think for the most part, none of them were that bad, and I think a lot of them were actually good. And that was one of very few that actually was like, oh, this is taking me out of it. So
I don't remember them. That one I think was the worst one, but there's like a couple times where it's like, we're having a really intense moment. Don't do a joke like this right now.
Most of the bad ones was centered around Natsu's motion sickness.
Yes. Just, I don't know. Sometimes just, again, it's like moments of repartee that like the camera focuses on too much. And it's like, I'm not against comedy in those moments to lighten things up. Like I freaking rewatched through Infinity Train with a friend. And like, that is a show that really expertly balances like heavy, harder, darker topics with like moments of levity and jokes and understands how to weave them. And this one, it just feels like, and honestly, not to point fingers, maybe it's on the localizer. I don't know. But it's just one where it feels like its balancing of tone was messier than I would have liked.
Yeah.
And I guess that kind of leads me into my bigger thing that I'm going to have in my brain and half figure out as I'm talking about it with Fairy Tail is that, like, I feel like the thing that was always the most interesting to me to Fairy Tail is things that didn't have to do with the main character, and that's the way the twist things. It was the whole book story with the author and his son and the Duke, and with the train thing, it was like the increasing thing of why do they have the train? Oh, the lullaby kills everybody. Oh, they're going to take over the train station to put it over the loudspeakers to kill everybody as revenge. It's like, oh no, wait a minute, that was just like the double cross. Like that was really cool and interesting, but it also has nothing to do with Natsu or what he's doing, and Natsu remains like not that interesting or cool of a shonen protagonist.
Yeah, it's definitely more like, here are some interesting stories, and our main character is in those stories.
All of our characters are in those stories.
Yeah.
Nobody really stands out as like, yes. And I don't know if it's design. I don't know if it's just the way things are shown or whatnot. And again, nothing is like bad,
right.
But it just constantly feels like, again, it's messy at moments and it's missing something. It's missing that extra gear that it feels like this is a guy who already wrote a whole story. Like it seems like he should be able to, like, I'm very curious to go look at Rave Master now.
Yeah. I think that if this had just been the first volume and it was like, oh, we're just doing some stuff so you get the vibe. And then we get into like a longer running, like there's an overarching goal or something that's going on. But it definitely, like, we got through 3 volumes and we were still just doing some stuff.
It's very seat of the pants, and that's not, you can do a lot of just doing stuff if you know how to make it feel like things are more moving in the background in a way that actually feels like it matters and not just you going, sleight of hand.
And I'm pretty sure
but
at the end of this, the next volume is just going to keep doing stuff, because at the very end, somebody shows up from the council, is like, we're here to arrest Ezra. And it's just like, okay, that's just more stuff. You're just going to keep doing stuff.
Why don't, if I like Toriko, because Toriko is a bunch of shonen stuff, and Fairy Tail is very specifically a bunch of shonen stuff. Is it just that I like Toriko because I think Toriko is cooler?
Maybe. And I do want to be clear here. Like, I don't think this is bad.
No. I think I'm just figuring out, like,
it's not cohesive.
I should like it more, and I want it to be better, and I think it should be better, but it's not bad. And it's like, again, I feel like having Kanacho's Magic nearby, which to you guys will probably be a week or two, but for me it was Wednesday, and by that I mean an hour ago or more, probably more than that at this point. But like, that one I don't like, and I think it's generic bad. It's like, but like this one is like, Fairy Tail is full of fingerprints, it's full of personality, it's got its ideas, and it just, I think I got my hopes up too much, and I think I thought more of it than what it is, and maybe it picks up more in the future. I have no idea. But it just constantly feels like it can't get out of, like, it can't quite hit 4th gear, and maybe it just doesn't. I mean, I'm sure it has one later, but it's not like this doesn't feel like a Hunter x Hunter situation where it's like, opening Hunter x Hunter is pretty good, but oh man, fuck that Chimera Errant arc though. But this one just feels like, I mean, it's kind of cool. Like, It feels like one where I'd put the English dub on another monitor while I was doing something.
I think it's really funny because I'm thinking that the way that I went through this got me to a better place on this because I
Yes,
started
I would agree
off
with that statement. I am
down
in
and
a
I
different
went-
way than I said it last episode that we recorded for Canadi's Magic. I am glad, genuinely truly from my heart, that you had a good time with it because I was sad that I had a bad time.
Yeah.
I had not a bad time. I'm sad that I had a not great time with it.
But I think
when I wanted it and I really thought I was going to at the start.
I think going the other direction, starting up and then experiencing some lows, I think that brought you lower than it should.
Yeah, I think the dual combo that got me was I went in, I got more excited than I should have, and I got sick in the middle of reading it.
Literally. And figuratively.
Yes. And I think that's why where a lot of my position comes with it, of just like it feels like it should be more and it's not, and that disappoints me. But also I don't think it's bad. I don't think it's wrong. I had my quibbles, but none of them are like this is bad, right? Like truly 100% bad writing. You know, I just wish it kind of was a little bit cooler and more tuned up. But otherwise, it's like if people like this a lot, I could very much understand it. I wouldn't. This is not me screaming from the hollows. This is a true absolute zero. There's nothing here. It's like there is so much here. There is so much of an author having fun and a group having fun and poking around. It just constantly feels like it's still in its tweens and it hasn't quite hit its stride.
So, I mean, there is something to be said though, because of the nature of we're just going to do some stuff. It
can kick in at literally any moment without warning.
There's that, but also I don't really care about reading more.
Yeah.
So I would read more if there was a good reason for me to read more, if I didn't have anything else to do, something like that. Like if it was presented to me in that way, I would definitely read more.
Yeah.
But as I sit here right now, I'm not going, I need to go read more.
Yeah.
I'm not even going, I'll read more in 2 weeks when I'm doing this.
Yep.
So I think there's definitely a detriment to that.
It's not on the radar. I am going to say something to you that you're going to have to bleep a lot of, but it's a conversation I've wanted to have you since I read this and the timing of it, which again is not good for the listeners because of the jump stuff. So, very fitting to our arc. More than anything we've read, I honestly think a version dub of Fairy Tail would fit it really well.
Was there one?
No.
Okay.
Was not around anymore, but the dub we heard is the dub, and that was I don't know who did it, but it's like that point is done for. But I think in that vein of you got to bleep a lot. You should hit the marker button here.
I already did.
Good. In like the vein of the more silly ones that had a lot of wordplay, like the I'm sure what is going to be when we get to it, and a little bit of the one, like. This with a bunch of like their flavor of repartee and wordplay and the back, because this is already a series that is injected with comedy in all corners and goofiness and people doing silly, semi-bad, but that's the joy of it, celebrity impressions or people impressions for things. I think that would be perfect for Fairy Tail. What do I make sense? Do you agree? How do you feel?
Although mostly I'm just thinking about how that whole thing's just gonna be like beep beep beep.
I know. That was like that was thinking about that, having that conversation and going, you're going to have to beep all this and it's going to be useless to the listeners. But I needed to talk to you about it on tape.
Listener, come back in
about a month
and listen to this again, and you'll be like, oh,
that's what they were talking about. But no, like I just because honestly I can go like, it'd be funny if they did this one, but honestly this one in Fairy Tail in particular feels like it would benefit so much from a dub like that.
Yeah. I don't disagree.
Yeah, like a weird.
I don't
way,
know
like
that I would want a lot of it, but I would want to experience some of it.
I'd be curious.
Yeah.
To see, and maybe I think now having had that conversation, it's that flavor is that extra little flavor packet that I feel like I'm missing.
Mm-hmm.
And again, don't know if that's the series, don't know if that's the localizer, don't know, can't do, no finger pointing. Maybe also just scrabbling for the thing that I want that may or may not exist. So, but yeah. I guess we should, do we do Thinky Thinks and Feely Feels?
I don't remember.
Okay. I want to.
Okay.
Where are you at?
I think that this is good to great.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel the same. I'm going to say the same. Yeah. And I'll explain if I need to, but I feel like I explained quite a bit already.
you've explained very well. I'm struggling for myself.
Yes, you are struggling.
I'm struggling. Because my brain goes, I think and feel it's good, but clearly my thinky thoughts and my feely feels are separated, so they can't be the same thing. But I don't think I would say I think it's great either.
I think for you that...
I know there's good to great, but I feel like I want a specific step between those two things.
I think that you think this is on the better side of good.
Yes.
Not necessarily good to great.
No, I want a middle step. I don't want a gradient.
Right.
I want to. I'm clear in that feeling because I'm like, I know, because I don't feel it's fine. That feels too low.
Yeah.
Especially after our conversation.
So it's good.
It's pretty good, but not in a derogatory sense. No, that doesn't work. I don't think there's a word in the middle that I can think of off the top of the dome. Google synonyms for good.
Nice.
Nice I would put in the lineup of fine.
I think nice.
Oh, Google misunderstood me of synonyms for the phrase for good. Because I'm like, why is it telling me forever and permanently?
How do you feel about this? Permanently.
Now that's an emotion. Fine quality. Oh, a lot of these are like good as in like virtuous. No, 18. Acceptable, excellent, exceptional, favorable, great, marvelous, positive, satisfactory, satisfying. Satisfactory. Is that greater than good?
I feel like that's less.
Yeah, that feels like the backhanded good.
Yeah.
Because that feels like got what it needed to do, and yes. Which honestly, it kind of does.
Yeah, satisfactory is like, it's not bad, but you definitely could have done better. And that feels slightly derogatory.
Crack. Admirable, agreeable, commendable, first rate, gnarly, gratifying, honorable.
Commendable?
Reputable, splendid, stupendous. I like splendid. I want to put
going to read the
there.
entire thesaurus?
I'm reading some of them. All 1,818 of them.
I think you should go with commendable.
I like commendable. It's doing stuff. It has fingerprints. The author is very punk. He talks about that in his little interstitials. I liked what he wrote in those. Like, I mean, like I said, maybe I guess I've said those other things, so I don't know all for sure. So like, I guess I'll do the thing I normally do when I don't know what I'm doing. Audience, have you taken in Fairy Tale? How did you feel about it? Does it change its shape later on? Is this One Piece Burger King? Or is this something else? Do you like Burger King? Sure. Do you like Arby's? Get out of our Discord. I'm sorry.
Let me be clear. McDonald's is not good either.
No, it's not good for you. But in that
but as
lineup,
a baseline,
yes. If McDonald's is this manga is great.
I don't want to compare One Piece to McDonald's.
One Piece is Five Guys. One Piece is Five Guys. Or One Piece is that really good burger I had at that restaurant that's not around anymore. That had a little American flag in it. We do food metaphors a lot.
Yum.
I don't know if I've had Red Robin burgers, but not in a way that I've like categorized them at all.
They have bottomless fries.
How many fries do I need?
2 plates.
What kind of fries do they have?
They're steak fries, and you can get them seasoned or not. You should get them seasoned.
That's pretty good. Because if I don't know why I was ready for you to say crinkle cut, and I was gonna say no thanks. I hate crinkle cut.
I get them seasoned. I put more seasoning on them.
Seasoning. That's what this needs.
I do want to. I actually want to go back to that because we talked about how thin the sauce was. I think at the end of the book arc, I think they properly salted it. It's still thin.
It's not the sauce. The book arc and the other arc is that there's like really interesting things they have put into the stew that are very tasty and interesting, but they don't feel like they collectively are in the stew. They just feel like interesting things I ate while I was eating the stew. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like they weren't a detriment to the stew, but they weren't like, oh man, this is a key part of the stew. It's just like, oh wow, this is a really novel thing that I just ate out of the stew that I've been eating.
Yeah. And then as you eat more stew, even though there isn't more of that.
But because I ate more of those, I'm acclimating to the stew more.
Yeah.
But yeah, tell us, like, did you read more of Fairy Tale? How do you feel about it? Like, this is like, this is a situation where I'm sorry if I came down on it, if it's one of your favorite series. Like, tell me more about it. Like, I'm curious. Again, I came into this, I think, and maybe with time it'll help. It's like, I came into this before I was reading it and during the start of reading it, very excited about it. And I think my expectations were higher than what it was giving, and that shot me in the foot.
I definitely think this is something that you can recommend to a lot of people.
Yes, I would say this is I would not say this is a starter. Or maybe it is a good starter because you have less context.
Oh.
But I feel like this is somehow a little bit built on
I don't think
knowing
this should be
tropes.
the first.
No.
It can be near the beginning. I don't think it should be the first.
Yeah. It's not a first one, but I would say it's more approachable than that whole old thing that I had of entry level. It's like Jujutsu Kaisen is not an entry level series.
I would say Naruto is a much better first than this.
Yep. Naruto, One Piece, Bleach, maybe.
Bleach.
All of our mag dumps, I guess.
I would say Bleach is a solid second.
Yep, I would. I guess you're right. You're right.
And then I would say this is like third, fourth, fifth, somewhere in there.
I could see that. See that. Read this before you read One Piece.
Read
Black
Fury
Clover
first, but as far as shonen battlers,
yeah, the show, yeah, of course, duh. This is the lineup order. So what? So somewhere on the horizon of mag dump, we have Kagurabachi.
Oh my God, what are we gonna do next?
Do we have anything else that kind of finishes that Shonen Jump, Shonen-y Swords arc?
Yeah, that's a good point. Let's do something completely different.
I mean, that's what Fairy Tail was. Do we want to try to find another series that we've never read that we want to put a dent in?
Yeah, but I want to go sort of off the rails. Like we've been
very shonen.
It's shonen battlers is what we've been doing. And
yeah,
I'd like to try something
like
different. And I'm not sure what that is. Maybe the next one's going to be a surprise.
I think it's going to be a surprise to you and us both, listener.
Yeah.
We're going to figure it out. We're not going to tell you beforehand this time like we called our shot last time, and Brad and I will conspiratorially giggle about it and bleep it out a future episode when we figure it out, I'm sure. So
who knows? It could be a recommendation from someone on the
also
Discord.
True. Who knows?
Well, you'll have to tune in and find out.
As I say at the end of every episode, you got to listen to all the podcasts on the feed to catch it. And speaking of, Brad, cast your magic that says the credits. Take out your key to summon the guy who says the credits.
Of course I know him. He's me.
He's me.
Oh wait, that was the last episode.
So was the thin sauce, if memory serves.
Well, we want to hear from you.
We do.
So I want you to go on our website. It's animepodcasterreincarnation.com. And there is a link up at the top. It says social links. I want you to click on that.
But you can also go to the website to read articles. Just very recently, Ben wrote an article about Odor of the Flame, which recently ended in Shonen Jump.
And the best way to know when Ben writes articles is to join our Discord. Because when I go and post the episodes every week is when I find out that Ben put up a blog post.
I secretly written another article without telling anybody.
And then I go, hey guys, on the Discord, I go, hey guys, Ben wrote another blog post. But if you go to that social links page, you'll see there's a big old Discord box. I think it shows you who's online right now.
Wow.
You click on that, you join our Discord. That's the best place to talk with us.
Yes.
Other good places, follow me on Blue Sky. That link is up there as well. If you use other social media platforms, you can follow me on those. I've literally stopped using Twitter. I am so close to just deleting the account.
Do it. Do it. Why?
I know I'm going to.
There's no engagement there.
Anyway, join us on our Discord. Best place to talk with us.
Best place.
But you can also find a link up there to our Patreon. Our supporters get all kinds of perks, like getting the high-quality stereo version of the podcast early and bonus episodes. So go ahead and check that out. But of course, we love our patrons.
Yes.
And so we have to shout them out.
Yes, we do.
So, first and foremost, the most famous in all the land, we have
the most renowned,
our crown prince, Slimy Okra.
Slimy Okra.
Well, I guess we don't do the...
Do we do it every time?
I don't think we do the music for these.
Oh, for mag dumps?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I just want to think about another King of the Hill thing.
Mm.
All I can think of is I did watch a lot of it. I'm just all thinking of all the YouTube poops of it.
Slimy
Robodale.
Ochre is the crown prince of propane and propane
Yeah.
accessories.
I did not have sex with that debutante. That's a YouTube poop line. That's not real. That didn't
I
happen.
would tell you, Slimy Ochre is dang old
manga. Dang old fairy tale manga.
At our noble tier,
Would it surprise you to find out that he's not Dale? What's his name? Boomhauer was like secretly a weeb and you just never knew it.
that wouldn't surprise me at
Yeah. I want the episode where Boomhauer shows Dale.
all. At our noble tier,
Mhm.
we have our marquee, Sir Cake Dwarf.
Thank you, Sir Cake Dwarf.
We also have our Count Imaginary Numeral.
Thank you, Imaginary Numeral. Count Imaginary Numeral.
And last but not least, at our commoner tier, we've got Rena, Laura Carroll, and Last Man on Earth. So thank you so much to all of our patrons.
Thanks, homies, for that. Thanks, Brad, for reading the stuff. You know the drill. Listen to all the stuff. I hope this is if this is Magnum number 5 and we completely forgot about one, I think I'm going to freak out because I still feel like we can't figure out which one was first. And I could have sworn there was one before Naruto. You got to look it up. You got to. I'm going insane. Because I know we did Naruto. I know we did Bleach. I know we did Jujutsu Kaisen. But I feel like Jujutsu Kaisen spurred us on to do Naruto. Unless it was the other way around. But I feel like there was one before that.
Naruto was first.
Okay, then Naruto was first.
And then
Naruto's
Jujutsu Kaisen,
then
and
Bleach. And now Fairy Tail, and then who knows what's next. Not Kagurabachi. Kagurabachi at some point in the future. Hopefully this year. But not next. Something not
Maybe
Shonen
at the end
Battler.
of this year.
Maybe not necessarily not Shonen, but not for certain Shonen. Something. I just don't know what yet.
That's a problem for later.
We'll figure that out. Future us. This is a problem solved by future us. That isn't right now. But yeah, how do I end these shows?
Well, hopefully not by getting stabbed in the back.
Just a look. It's in a book. Fairy tale time. Fairy tale time.
All right, hunters, it's time to get your guild tattoo. It's Fairy Tale.
This ain't your mother's 3 little pigs. Yeah, did I write? No, I didn't. I don't do that because they're just kind of weighed in.
Yeah, you just go, hi, I don't know what I'm doing. This is Magnum.
No, wait a minute. I'm thinking of series redacted that won't come out for another 4 weeks.
This
Oh,
ain't
yeah.
your grandmother's fairy tale.
Oh, yeah. It's tail time.
Through thick and thin is another tailspin. Oh, wee oh.
Oh,
wee oh.
Oh, wee oh. Friends together through thick and thin with another tailspin. Man, it's weird being on the boat now and enough time has passed that there's like everybody in that room, like nobody really knows what the Rescue Rangers theme is anymore. And I'm like, yep, I'm getting older. I'm getting older.